Okay, well I've got the back and front in now, and back and front, the inside and the outside, and I have got a little bit, I don't know if you can see it there, I have got a little bit of a lip at the end left, and you can see where the centre line is. And this Rexine takes a long time, it's like leather, it takes a long time to dry, so it's been a bit of a, it's not like the paper sticks immediately, but this takes a while, and I'm using half and half mixture anyway. And you can see it's gone in quite well, and there's the centre line, what I said you must have. And you'll find that these probably are pretty accurate. I probably won't have to cut anything off these at all. Well, the centre I won't have to cut anything off, but the outside, I'll close the board up in a minute. I can't do it because I've only got one hand again. I must set my other camera up. I haven't got anything I can set anything on this. I can't set this one up because I haven't got a tripod for it. And well, I have, but I'm using it on the other one. The other one's at the moment's charging. So you can see what I've done anyway, so there's no problem. And if you've got any questions, just ask me, and I'll send it to Sage Reynolds. But anyway, it's going quite well. So, and I'm thinking about making it into a half-bound book. I mean, I was watching a couple of other people, and they've got the same book, and they've got it on as a 3/4 bind. So I've got no idea what a 3/4 bind is now. I thought I knew, but I don't now. I'm not quite sure because they all call it different things. I think a 3/4 bind, actually a half bind, is what I've just got here with the little bits on the ends, and a 3/4 bind would be this. This would be a bit wider. I would imagine it would take up probably half the book, and then these would take up the rest, which would make up the last quarter. So that would be a 3/4 bind. So that's what I think it is, because this part would be bigger as opposed to. And I have got this slightly oversized because Sage Reynolds came out with a good thing whereby when you fold it up, you hold it by this, so you'll be holding it with your fingers on this instead of the paper, which I'm going to use. And the paper I've picked is this one. Is this, which is a Buckram, this one, and it's a paperback Buckram, and it's it's very difficult to work with one hand. And it's quite pleasant. This is sort of a red mix. So, and that's what I'm going to put on. Anyway, I'll stop there and we'll go on to the next bit in a minute. Well, I decided to put the end bits in Rexine, the same as I've done the back here in the centre piece, the centre pole, the spine. And this is the way I do it. It's not necessarily the way everybody else does it, but I'm a bit queer. So, and what I've done for people, what I found is that you need something to hold on to, like measurements and things when you first start, and after that you don't need to bother. But I usually tend to eyeball these, and if they're in plan with the centre fold, the end pieces, as long as they're not too small, they don't look too silly or too big. I mean, people tend to either make them look too small or too big, and this is just a quick method of sort of saying, well, this is how you do it to get a good result. And what you'll get is result the same as I've got here. That's the sort of result you'll get. So you can see it's about level with that one. But if you want to take the measurements, you can. And I marked it out to, from there to there is 2 6/16, and from that corner to there is 2 6/16. And what you do is you mark it, and then you draw a line straight across it like so. I've only got one hand so I can't show you, so you put your pencil on and you scratch a line across, and that will give you the angles that you want. It'll be absolutely square. If the board is square, this will be square. So this is the same size. This will be the same size for every one of these you make if you're making an A4 folder. So I'm making this, so every one I make is going to be exactly the same. If you want to make it bigger, you're going to have to adjust your sizes to make it bigger, your measurements to make it that little bit extra. And you'll see I've done it on the inside because this will be covered in any case, so it makes no difference. But what I did then was I marked the edge of it there, and marked the edge of it there, and I marked it on the top, and I marked it on the top of that one. And then when you turn it over, you'll see that the measurements are exactly the same. So I've got, just get rid of that rubbish, 2/16, 2/16, and I've got a corner there, and it's as easy as that. And you do that for every corner. So I've marked that one off, so all I do is put me thing on it. You can see the little marks that I've left, one there and one there. You just line them up, draw a line down, and that will give you the template for putting your piece of paper on. And once you've done that, what we're going to do is make it. You can do this on every corner if you want, but what I do is you place a piece of paper on then, and you press it in. And I've marked this one up already so you can see. You press in the corner, so you measure up from end to end along the line that you've done, making sure that the ends fit there and there, and then you press it down and you put your thumb on and you make a score line, and at the end you make a little dot, or you can place a hole in there. And then what you do after that is, this is quite difficult to do, the little bit that you cut off of the portfolio back, the spine, which is 3/4 of an inch approximately, you draw a line down on both sides like so, and the same on the other side like so, and you've got a 3/4 inch marking all the way around. And all you do is you cut that out, and then, well, before you cut it out, sorry, I'll just mention this. From the tip of where you've made the mark, you draw down 3mm, which is a board's width and a 1mm extra, and then draw a line across, cut it, and you'll get this arrangement. So there's the tip of it, and there's the mark out to 3mm, draw a line, cut it, and then cut the shape out, which is that, and then you can use this for every corner, template for every corner. But you don't need it on this. What you're going to use that on is on the paper that you're going to put on the corners, and I'm going to put the black on. I'm going to put that on. And how you do that, I'll show you that in a minute. I hope I haven't confused you, but that's the way I do it. And sometimes I just eyeball it. I don't even do as much as this. But some people do like a point of reference to work from, with numbers and figures and scratchings and letters. I tend not to, but because this is only the second one I've done, I'm trying to follow Plogger, and I'm not trying to copy Sage Reynolds exactly, so this is my own virtual method of doing things, I hope. Some of Sage Reynolds is in there and some of it's mine, but anyway, I shall stop there, and we'll continue to the next bit in a minute. Well, I've cut the pieces off already in preparation, but there they are. That was the template that I made. And what I did, I got my material, which is, I'm using Rexine, placed it face down, like so, put the template on, like so. And turned it over a bit more accurately than I'm doing now, and then made a square and then cut it in half. And I made 2 of them for the 4 corners, and I came up with exactly, they're all the same now. So they should all fit. And because I've cut the way, I've done that thing the way I did, I do a template inside, if you remember, 2 6/16, then marked each edge and then made a corner. And you'll see that the corners are exact, there, there, there and there. So when they close up they're exactly exact, and the back is the same. Within reason, they're on par. So you see, there's not much. It's a pretty good way of doing it. I think it's not too bad a way. And what I'm going to do is to place these bits on. Like so. With a little bit at the end, which you nip over the same as you do on the book, and you can see there's enough there for me to glue up and nip in, and I'm going to do that on every one, obviously, so they should all be exactly the same. A little bit at the end, 3mm at the end, which we did, glue up, and then I'm going to glue them up, turn them over and then glue them in. So I'll do that now, and I won't show you how to do that because you must have done it a million times, so I'll glue that and then come back. Well, I've done two corners, and I'm just going to show you the other 2 corners. If you want to find the dead centre, you just nip it in between, just fold it over and nip the top. That will give you a central position, like so. So when you put it on, you're reasonably central for each end. You don't have to be too accurate with this, as long as the corners meet up, and you're left with that little bit at the end which you need to turn over like you do with a bookcase. And I'll just do that other one for you. A little bit more glue on there because things are drying out rather quickly. Turn it over. Nip the centre, just get an approximation so you know where you are. And then put it on. Okay. And I'll let that dry and we'll turn it over. Okay, well I've turned it over and I've glued up the back on this one, and I'm just turning them in conventional way, and then nip the ends in just like you do in a bookcase, and then turn the last end in. I've done the other ones because if you've seen one, you've seen them all. And I'll just glue up this end. If you're using paper to line with, at the ends and corners and things. It'll be a lot quicker than this stuff because this takes a while to settle in. It's a bit like leather. It isn't leather, but it acts like leather and it stays wet for a long time, and so it doesn't just stick on contact when you press it in. There we are. I shall press this side in. And nip this end in. Turn it in. Turn the other end over and press it over. This is the pleasurable part. This is the bit I like. You're nearly getting to the end. The worst part for me is cutting the card straight. Okay, so we're fairly level there, and if you look now you'll see that all the corners are reasonably level there, and at the tops and at the bottom, so there's not much to do. And we shall wait for that to dry now, and then we shall put the back paper in. Okay, well, this is the paper I'm going to put on, and this is my method of cutting it. What I do, I place a piece of paper on, face down. This is Buckram I'm using, Buckram. Place it face down, and then what I do is I put the book on it and get the offcut from the centre of the book, which is about 3/4 of an inch, if you remember it, the template which I used, and you line up the top with the book, put it on, put your template on, and then cut it, because usually the top piece of paper is either rubbish or it's got a bad line on it or something. It isn't very good, so you can remove it. I've removed quite a bit there because it's been bashed around. I've had this piece of book around for quite a long time. So, and I do the same all the way around. I go around with put it on, measure up, cut off, take the piece away, cut off, round the front and cut off. I put this on to stop it curling up because it will curl up. And then you just discard the bits which are now rubbish and throw them away. And you'll find that I am actually lined up with the end of the book, like so. So now I've got all the way around, and it's pretty accurate. I've got the 1/8 of an inch at the top. 1/8 of an inch at the top, and 3/4 of an inch all the way around. And I found that the best method for cutting a piece of cloth or book around. And it's pretty accurate, and it becomes manageable. Okay, and the next thing we do obviously is to line it up accurately as we can. One-eighth of an inch, approximately over the top. Terrible for curling. Spend half my life trying to keep it stopping from curling. Okay, there we are. No, it's not going to be. It's not.